anything he wants. There's one account at the root of everything that he has the privileges to do anything on the machine that he wants. And then there's like access control that's beyond that. So that's the I don't know, super user account, right? It's the one account that can do anything it wants. It won't be denied anything. Okay? And that's what this root is for the database. Okay? So anybody, if you're doing a command as root, the database says okie dokie. So if you say delete database as root, it says fine, it's gone. Okay? If I try to delete a database as another user, then it goes into that privilege thing. It says, oh, does that user have privileges to do that? Oh, he doesn't, okay, then I'll deny that command. But if you're doing it as root, it's gone. Yeah. So to answer your question before, since I have root, Joomla is going to try to create this database for me, okay?
Okay.
And actually when I hit next, if I don't have those that set up right, Joomla won't let me go beyond that. Okay? So Joomla, before I get to this FTP configuration, because remember I was at the database level, if I do something wrong there and hit next, Joomla will say, whoa, there's no database where you told me there was a database, that kind of thing. Okay? So it'll stop you at that point until you get it right. FTP Server, we're going to bypass this one, but this one would be if you wanted people to upload files basically through Joomla modules and things like that. So you can actually have people upload images or upload movies or things like that, so that it will take that file from their machine and FTP it to a certain location on the server. We're not going to do any of that here, so I'm just going to kind of skip that. You can leave those blank. Most of these configurations, well actually all these configurations can be changed later too. So if you do think, well, I'm not sure what my FTP configurations are now, once you get them, you can go back and change them. Now I'm at the actually main configuration. Notice I'm almost done too. So what Joomla is going to ask right now is a couple key things. One, it's expecting that you're making a content management system for a certain site. Okay? By the site name, this would be like the name of your site that you're creating. So if I was creating a site for the hairy elephants, I would put hairy elephants right here. That's the site name, and that will show up in the title. Okay? The next thing it's going to ask is, this is a key one, very key thing, is the administrator email and password. Okay? Remember these things, and they try to give you a little warning here, but remember the admin password. Okay? You can recover it, and you can change it, but it's much easier if you do remember this thing, because this is your access, again, like that root account is the root, for the database. This account right here, this admin password, allows us to administer Joomla, which is basically we can change anything we want. We can divvy up permissions after that, but this is the main guy who can do anything. Then finally, we're going to install sample data so we can see something in our templates today. So I'll call this and here I'll put in, it's not going to validate my email address. It could send me welcome to Joomla emails, but remember earlier we disabled emailing, so it's not going anywhere. And here's my password. And I'll hit install sample data so that I have something in. Otherwise there's no data in there, it's totally blank. At least now we can see some examples and we can kind of page through it. Our templates look really, really bare without any data. And remember, this data is stuff that we'll actually see on the website, but it's written in that database, that MySQL database. And then I'm done. Hit next. It says, cool, you're done. All right, notice in red, we got one key thing to do. Okay? It says, congratulations, Joomla is now installed. It says, remember to completely remove the installation directory. Okay? What that means is actually, remember when we unzipped all that stuff into the www directory? One of the folders in there is called installation. That's what walked us through this whole installation process. Okay, Joomla will not allow the live site to be seen until that directory is gone. Okay? The reason that you want to, and they'll say, some people say, well, just rename it. I say delete it. Okay? The reason is, if someone could somehow get to that directory, they can actually walk through this process again. Right? And reset your entire site. It would be like Joomla would know. Joomla would say, oh, you're going through the install process again. Here we go. Right? And reset your entire site based on the new site. So delete it. Just totally get rid of it. And that's what we're going to do here next. If you forget to delete it, you'll see this thing, right? There's this little buttons up here. I can either go to the admin section or the site. If I click this one saying, all right, I got Joomla installed, let's go, you'll get this page, right? And again, it's another warning saying, look, you didn't, this directory's got to be gone before I'll show you the live site. Okay, so I'm going to go delete that directory. And like I said, it feels kind of dirty, but most people don't like deleting things because that's just like permanent, right? But we're going to do it. So there's installation. Say, yep, it's gone. And now if I go back, if I go to localhost, remember localhost took me to the install process before? Now it takes me to my live site. Okay, this is a full-blown working Joomla website. Okay, this is the sample data and all that stuff that we installed. And how it looks right now is a template. Okay, so the template is kind of like analogous to, I don't know if you guys talked about in HTML days, but there's presentation, content, presentation, and behaviors, right? Those are kind of the three layers of things. So behaviors are things like JavaScript, things like that you do for goofy navigational type stuff. Presentation is how things look, and content is actually the words on the page. Okay. Well, a content management system is, I guess, a mirror of that design. Okay, because content for us are things written to the database. Okay, presentation for us is a template. Okay, so that's what's merging together, those two things, and in the end we get a website. Okay, this is our web page, and this is the default template for Joomla. Okay, so we can put graphics in there, and actually we're going to talk now how we go about making something like this, so we can make Joomla look differently than what you see here. Okay, so one of the things that we're going to want to do as designers that we're also going to want to know how Joomla is administered a little bit. So as you're doing this, it's helpful to go to the administration console to install your template. We can do it manually, but it's easier to go through the whole console process. And it's good to get familiar with how Joomla actually is administered and used a little bit. So this is what they call the front end side. This is what users would see, right? Navigating your web page, and they can actually, all these things are clickable and linkable, right? There's the features page. I can go to news feeds, and here's extensions. I can export out as PDF if I want, all this stuff, right? So you get all these features for free, basically. This is the default, features of. Oh, I don't try out that one working. It should work. But I don't even know if he gets it. Yeah. We can rewind the tape. We don't have to show that part. But so this is the front end side. This is what the users will see. Okay, and there's actually you probably won't ever have to do this, but there's actually templates for the front end side, and that's usually what you guys design. Okay, and that's usually what you find is templates for the user section, because that's what you're designing a site for, right? But there's actually the whole back end side of Joomla, which is the administration section, works the exact same way as the user section. So there are templates and designs for the administration section. Okay. Not many people make them or configure them or build them, but you can actually create a whole admin template. Okay, so I've already done it a couple times, and that's where we handed off all this to, basically it was like for a community's intranet, and they're logging in to the administration section. So we actually styled the administration section for them, so it didn't look like Joomla. So you can actually do both sides. Okay, Joomla works the same way throughout the whole thing. There's not like a special thing for the admin side. There's not a special thing for the user side. The whole application runs the same no matter what. But let's go to the admin side. So to get to the administration section, I'll try another one myself. Administrator. I must not spell it right. Administrator. Thought I did. But all you have to do to get to the administration side of your site, you just type in the /administrator as the location, and you get prompted with this login section. Okay. Only people with administration privileges